4 years since the setting off of this project, we find ourselves looking at a not-so-familiar sight. Welcome back, my fellow hobbits, to Hobbiton, West Farthing, the Shire. There's been monumental change since I've last updated you in a video. If you've seen any of my posts that I've made on this channel in the past months, then you will have seen some of those changes. But rather than sit here and go into a whole synopsis of everything I've been thinking and doing and planning and changing, I want to keep the dialogue a little bit more brief in this video so that I don't over-explain myself. One of the main pieces of information I need to update you on is that I made the move into using the mod Conquest reforged. To put it simply, switching to Conquest reforged was a pretty vastly complicated, tedious process, but in the end, I finally decided that I just didn't want to continue without it because I couldn't really make the advancements or changes I wanted to without switching to it, and so it kind of became an inevitability if I wanted to continue. As I usually mention, I'm a huge fan of Artcraft, and what they've done there is just absolutely mind-blowing and incredible, so obviously the fact that they use Conquest Reforged was one of the big reasons why I switched to it, because it's just so inspiring, and I take so much inspiration and ideas from them. Definitely check out Artcraft. It's the best version you're ever going to see of the Shire, of the Middle-earth. It's just absolutely incredible. I did take a lot of direct inspiration from them for a while, but I've been trying more and more to go off into my own avenue. So last time I updated you, I was in the process of destroying a lot of the old things in my world to make room for the expansion of the Shire, and I was also going to use World Painter to start expanding the world out in various directions. I did make a lot of progress in destroying things and did eventually use World Painter to expand the borders of the Shire massively, so I don't really have a good way of showing you, but basically I expanded it south all the way to where Tuckborough is going to be. I've expanded it east almost to the point of Buckland, I believe, and I've created the Green Hill Country, at least for now, unless I decide to change it later. But I didn't really go too far southeast. But Hobbiton and surrounding areas are prepped for the details and building and landscaping and forests and rivers and farms, so that's exciting. The change to Conquest Reforged has certainly slowed things to a degree because I've had so much change to make, so much updating to make, and there's still so many things that need to be updated. Interior-wise, like pretty much every interior I've made has to be completely redone because all the blocks and things I use are completely different now. In fact, every building has to be completely redone as well. Bag End is almost complete. There's still more updates I have to do on it. I actually have to update the garden quite extensively now, but the interior and the exterior of Bag End are pretty much complete, so that's very wonderful, and that's something I've wanted to work on to make sure that's in there, and that's a staple, obviously, for the world and Hobbiton. So I'm currently in the process of rebuilding a lot of Hobbiton. I'm redoing Bagshot Row and the road that leads down from Bag End to the village. I've been redoing the village, and naturally the surrounding areas have been getting worked on, and I have another very exciting thing to show you, which I think I'm just going to sort of walk you to it to get a reveal of something that's very exciting. This part of the project is something I've absolutely dreamed of for ages and is finally becoming reality. It's finally at a point where I've been able to work on it quite extensively, and yes, so here we are in Bywater. The project has been underway. I began with the Green Dragon, which has been something I've been so excited to build for ages, and it's so far a very beautiful project, and I still have a lot to do in regards to it, but there's a lot that's finished, which is really cool that I can show you. And Bywater, the rest of the village is underway. There's still obviously tons of work and planning I have to do, but you know, the bones are there, the beginning's there, and it's been so fun and refreshing to work on. So I've been hopping between Bywater and Hobbiton now, and it's been really, really refreshing and exciting part of the project to start working on and inspired. It got me so inspired in so many different ways. So yeah. There's a couple things I want to address. One is, one of the main reasons I wanted to switch to Conquest reforged was because of their incredible custom trees that are just so beautiful and they're just so immersive and change the world so much. I just couldn't not have those trees anymore. So the trees have all been in the process of being remade and replaced. And the second thing I want to say is that I'm still pursuing this project in survival as best as I can, because Conquest Reforged makes that very complicated with the excessive amount of blocks and things they have. There is an extension of Conquest Reforged that provides recipes, which I've been utilizing, but it's certainly very laborious because it takes so long to get everything you need and to figure out everything you need. And there's been a lot of like creative mode testing where I go into creative and I find the blocks I need, or I try things out and then go back and try to get them in survival and do it the right way. But certainly it's been sort of a hybrid of using creative to figure things out, and then, you know, doing what I can in survival. I just wouldn't feel right not using survival mode in this, so I'm still trying my best to do as much as I can in survival and getting things, you know, the hard way. But there certainly is times and moments where I need to use creative, and I do, because it's sort of just unavoidable. But the trees also, I build some of them. Sometimes I take the time to build one, but they're so laborious. They take so long to make, especially to look good, that I do not handcraft all these trees. These are trees that were made by, well, most of the trees are trees that were made by a few of the Articraft team members who run this website called CR Essential Schematics, where you can yourself purchase these schematics if you would like to use them in your own worlds. So I purchased most of them, and that's the ones I use most of the time. I tend to create the trees that are more like special or unique, like the party tree and a few random other trees in Hobbiton, the tree on top of Bag End. Those are the kind of ones I usually create myself, just so that there's more uniqueness and something special to them. But yeah. So I want to wrap this video up. This is a lot of information, it's a lot of stuff. It's already getting pretty long, and I don't want to over ramble here, so I've been really needing to do a good thorough update on this, so I'm glad I can provide you with that. I hope people are excited to see this and see the changes I've made. And I've gotten so many requests to release my texture pack, which I'm definitely going to do, because now I don't even, you know, I use so much of Conquest Reforged now that it's like the texture pack is not even like at all the same anymore. I've been doing so much tweaking and erasing in it to have to make it work, and I still have so much to change. But basically I'm going to make another video very shortly where I release it, and it's going to be like the latest version I had before I updated Conquest Reforged. So like in the last video I made, that's basically the state of the texture pack that I'm going to give to you. And so it will be, you know, the texture pack I used in the world that you're most familiar with, because that's, you know, the way my world looked most of the time recently till now. So but farewell until next time.
The road goes ever on and on, down from the door where it began. Now far ahead the road has gone, and I must follow if I can, pursuing it with eager feet until it joins some larger way, where many paths and errands meet, down from the door where it began. Now far ahead the road has gone,